Hi there, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're doing something a little bit different than what I usually do on this channel. So Christmas is coming soon and I thought I would do something special to celebrate. So I wanted to bake something inspired by the gingerbread man in my illustrated Christmas card series. So I turned Gingerbread Boy into a real gingerbread. It was super fun, and since it's a homemade recipe, I decided why not? I want to share the process. So here is how Gingerbread Boy became real. So when I said homemade gingerbread, I didn't expect to home make my own cinnamon powder too, but the process is quite simple. I also used just raw ginger to make this, so I peeled it and then cut it and diced it a lot. I was scared that there would be ginger chunks in the cookie, so I really took my time to dice it all up. The prep process for making this was way longer than I expected, but it was well worth it. Once you're done dicing up your ginger, don't be afraid to over smush them because you just want to make sure that there aren't any chunks. Toss in the spices and then smush them some more. I'm using the word smush a lot today, sorry guys. And now we move on to the most glorious smelling step, which is melting butter. You want to make sure that you don't overheat it or burn it, so I lifted it off the stove to allow it to slowly simmer down. Mix it well together and then you can start adding in the other stuff such as brown sugar. This just made the whole kitchen smell so delicious. Oh, it was great. And then I added in some other stuff such as maple syrup and also some salt. You always want to add some salt to your desserts. It just works. Add in the ginger mixture as well, and then you just want to keep mixing on the heat, but not for too long. You don't want it to overcook. And now we move forward with making the dough. You want to take the liquid gold you just made, put it into a bowl, and stir it nicely. Add 1 egg, and make sure to stir quickly before it cooks. Sometimes it can turn into scrambled egg if your mixture's too hot. And then you want to take another bowl, add in the flour. I'm using whole wheat flour and cake flour here to have a good mixture of textures, also to just keep it a little bit more healthy. Also add your baking soda and baking powder. Try mixing it without spilling it all like I did, and then you can start combining both the wet and dry ingredients. I like to combine and mix in sections as this helps prevent chunks from forming. So I add a little bit and then I stir and then I add more. Once you see that the mixture has become a more doughy texture, you could start kneading it with your hand. You can either do this in the bowl or on the board. Make sure to add a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick. Once your dough is ready, it's time to start rolling it out. You don't want it to be too thick. For my gingerbread boy, I made sure to keep him at about 1/2 inch, so about 1 centimeter thick. And then I actually don't have a gingerbread mold, so I actually had to cut my shape out with a knife. This is actually not super hard to do, and it gives you the freedom to be more creative with the shapes that you make, so I kind of recommend it. Do be careful with the knife though, because there were many times where I was really close to cutting myself. And voila! Since there's a lot of dough that can be made from this mixture, I decided to take the time to make some more cookies, so I'm using this not cookie cutter, clearly, to cut out some round shapes. I also like to use my knife to make some marks on the surface of the cookie to give it some more interesting textures. These then all go into the oven at 150 Celsius for about 7 to 8 minutes. I like my cookies crunchy, so I leave them just a little longer. Now we move on to the final part, which is the icing, which actually for me was the hardest part. I just could not get the milk to powder sugar ratio right, but just keep trying until you get the right consistency. When I decorate, I like using a traditional piping bag. I literally just cut the smallest hole to make the tiniest nozzle. It sort of works. It's not the easiest to decorate with icing because it's harder to control it. It's got a strange consistency, but I think I did pretty okay here. I think it does somewhat resemble the lovely gingerbread boy that I made on my Christmas cards, so I'm quite happy with how he turned out. He is quite cute. I also decorated the other cookies with some random designs such as this snowflake and just some polka dots on the other cookie.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!